The time to take to the seas and live the life of a pirate is almost here. We're just about a week away from the launch of Sea of Thieves, but there still seems to be some confusion on exactly what is going to be in the game. So, here today, I'm going to clear that up as we go over the 20 things you need to know about Sea of Thieves. Now, just so you know, this information is coming from the alpha test, beta test, and various interviews where Rare has talked about what the game is going to include. It is still certainly possible that they're hiding some information and content that they just don't want to reveal until the game has launched, but as far as we know right now, this list is everything that's going to be in Sea of Thieves. First, let's start with the basics. Sea of Thieves is a multiplayer action-adventure game where you play as a pirate, sailing a ship, exploring islands, and searching for valuable treasure. You can go it alone or in a crew of up to 4, and you'll come across plenty of other pirates while you play. Some will be friendly, others not so much. One of the first things you'll be doing in the game is making your character, which will be done through the random pirate generator. You're given several options representing a wide array of pirate types, and if you don't find something you like, you can just keep looking, as there are countless pirates to choose from. Although keep in mind that you can't customize the face or the body shape of your pirate, only hair and clothing through cosmetics in-game, so choose wisely. Once you've made your pirate, it's time to pick a ship. There are 2 ship types in Sea of Thieves, the sloop and the galleon. The sloop is a small and nimble ship that can hold 1 or 2 players. It's slower than the galleon when moving with the wind, but it turns much more quickly and moves faster against the wind. The galleon, on the other hand, is massive and deadly. It can hold 3 or 4 players, and while it moves faster with the wind thanks to its 3 sails, it has a hard time catching the nimble sloop since it turns and moves slower against the wind. Both vessels control the same. You can steer the ship, adjust the sails, fire cannons, and use an anchor, although the galleon has more sails and cannons to manage. Each ship also has a map to navigate, storage barrels, a voyage table, vanity chest, and a weapons and ammo box. Which ship you pick is really based on the crew size you have, and if you don't have friends to play with, you can always use matchmaking. After you've picked your ship and found a crew, you'll spawn at an outpost. This is one of the 3 types of islands in the game. Outposts are where you spawn, pick up quests, and get some fresh new threads for your pirate. There are also standard islands where you'll be adventuring and completing quests, and skeleton forts where you'll face off waves of enemies to get some sweet treasure. The islands are broken up further into 3 biomes, the Wilds, Ancient Isles, and Shores of Plenty, each offering distinct visual twists. In terms of the map size, it looks like what we saw in the beta is what we're going to be getting at launch, although they do have plans to expand on that in the future. But before you go exploring the islands, you should pick up a quest. Known as Voyages, you'll be getting these primarily from the game's 3 factions, the Gold Hoarders, Merchants Alliance, and Order of Souls. Voyages for the Gold Hoarders have you searching for buried treasure, the Merchant Alliance asks you to ferry shipments of animals and resources, and the Order of Souls will task you with killing a specific target. As you progress with the factions, voyages get more complex, challenging, and rewarding. Beyond these 3, you may also come across a message in a bottle or special lore books that offer unique, rewarding voyages. And your crew can only have 1 active voyage at a time, which must be voted on by a majority before it begins. When out adventuring, you'll have several tools and weapons at your disposal. The weapons include the pistol, blunderbuss, sniper, and cutlass, each offering an option for combat at different ranges. There's also gunpowder barrels that you can use to deal area damage and sink an enemy ship, and then there are your tools, the compass, bucket, lantern, shovel, spyglass, and timepiece. They all pretty much do what you expect, and there's 2 instruments, the concertina and the hurdy-gurdy, to pass the time. You'll come across a few enemy types in Sea of Thieves, the primary one being skeletons, of which there are melee and ranged variations, along with different types. The basic bone skeletons you've probably already seen. There are gold skeletons, which are slow and powerful but weak to water, and shadow skeletons who get more powerful in the darkness. You'll also fight skeleton captains found on forts and Order of Souls missions. You'll encounter sharks while you play. They'll happily ambush you as you try bringing treasure back to your boat, and they're especially fond of shipwrecks. And then finally, the greatest enemy of them all, it's other players. This is a game with a big focus on PvP combat, so expect to see a lot of other pirates. The PvP in this game can be broken up into 2 types. There's ship and weapons combat. Ship combat involves trying to sink an enemy ship with your cannons, ramming into them, or blowing up gunpowder barrels. Or you can just board the enemy ship and engage in weapons combat, using your guns and cutlass to take them out, steal their treasure, and leave. Although keep in mind that if you don't sink their ship, they'll respawn on it shortly after, so make it quick. It has been said that the max server size at launch is going to be 6 ships or 24 potential players. Now, I've heard people talking being about 100 players per server, it appears that information is simply incorrect, and that's not what we should expect. Skeleton forts. These islands are infested with skeletons and reward loads of treasure if defeated. To do so, you must fight through 15 waves of skeletons, kill a captain, and then use the key to open a vault filled with treasure. Active forts are marked by a giant skull cloud in the sky, so you can't exactly be sneaky trying to take one, which is why you should expect to see other players. If you happen to die at any point, you'll be brought to the Ferry of the Damned. Punishment for death is simply waiting for a few seconds until the doors open and you can respawn back on your ship. If the ship is sunk, you'll be brought to a new island and given a new one. There are a few different resources you'll need while playing the game. Bananas are used to heal yourself and keep pigs alive, cannonballs are the ammunition you need to fire cannons, and planks are used to patch up any holes on your ship for damage that you might take. All of these will be found in barrels on islands, shipwrecks, and floating in the sea. You can store a few of them on your pirate, but mostly you'll be filling up the storage on your ship. Shipwrecks are scattered throughout the world and can be spotted by a portion of the ship sticking up out of the water. It's a great spot to pick up some of those resources, or even treasure chests and a message in a bottle. Just be careful because, as mentioned earlier, sharks kinda like hanging out here. You'll encounter a few storms in your time on the seas. This makes sailing quite a bit difficult, with big waves making it harder to steer, filling up your ship with water, and even doing damage. Really, they're just kind of a big nuisance that makes sailing harder. There are 3 types of animals in the game: pigs, chickens, and snakes. You'll find these randomly on islands, and you need to capture them with a specific cage. These animals are mainly used in Merchant Alliance quests, but you can keep them as pets, and snakes can actually act as traps to poison enemies boarding your ship. When sailing the seas, also keep an eye out for the Kraken. This massive creature is an ever-present threat that can attack multiple ships and pick up and throw players. If you come across one, you can fend it off by attacking its tentacles, and if you manage to kill it, there'll be a valuable reward. Now, by this point, you might be asking yourself, alright, so we're doing these voyages, attacking skeleton forts, fighting other players in PvP, amassing all of this gold, what is it all for? You know, besides the fact that it's fun to play, it's also for cosmetics. Besides purchasing new voyages, all of the gold you acquire will be spent on cosmetics, and that is the real end game. Cosmetics for your pirate, your weapons, and even your ship are what you'll be working towards as you play. There are baseline cosmetics available to everyone, and more prestigious ones for pirate legends. Which brings us to the game's progression. As you complete voyages, you'll level up the 3 factions. You do that enough, and you'll eventually be contacted by a mysterious NPC about becoming a pirate legend. Once pirate legend, you gain access to the pirate hideout, giving you special voyages, cosmetics, and titles. This will be the game's first truly prestigious award. Sea of Thieves will be available on the Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs and features crossplay, meaning you can play with your friends on either platform. Concerns of gamepad versus mouse and keyboard balance should be alleviated by the rather simple combat with little emphasis on precision aiming. Rare has confirmed that microtransactions will be added to the game post-launch. The first thing you'll be able to buy are pets, like cats, monkeys, and parrots. They'll follow you around, you can interact with them, and you can even fire them out of cannons. Additional, quote, fun and non-gameplay intrusive purchases will also be coming later down the line, and all of this is used to fund future content. There are big plans for future content in the game. The first big update coming roughly 3 months post-launch, adding legendary captain status, giving pirate legends the ability to access a unique ship and make the pirate hideout their home. We're also going to see new voyages, trading companies, fishing, and more coming down the road. We can also expect smaller updates and regular in-game events on a more consistent basis. Now, as I talked about at the beginning of the video, it is certainly possible that Rare is hiding a bit more up their sleeve. Maybe there's more content and more features that they just didn't feel like putting in the beta, they didn't feel like talking about or announcing. The possibility is there, but as it stands right now, everything we talked about here in this video is everything you can expect from Sea of Thieves. Hopefully you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.